This is the first Mystery Ranch bag that I reviewed, as well as the pack that I took to Ecuador and Galapagos this year. I've talked a little bit about the Mission Rover 30 in my packing list videos, but I wanted to do a full review here and talk about what I liked and didn't like about this pack. The Mission Rover comes in 3 sizes. There's a 30, 45, and a 60. This is the smaller 30-liter size in the color Shadow. The dimensions listed on the website are fairly close. They're 19, 13, 10 inches or 48, 33, 25 centimeters. The way I have it packed here though, it's about 19 and a half long. The width is around the 13, and I have it a little bit underpacked, so my height here isn't 10, it's really only about 8. Now a quick capacity test. I did my best to pack this bag, all the little individual pockets, full as I could with packing peanuts. Now I'll go ahead and transfer them into the cylinder marked in 10-liter increments. So pretty much what I suspected, this bag is coming in pretty much right exactly at the 30-liter mark. So that means this bag is gonna work easily as a carry-on, but it's a little bit too big for most personal item size dimensions. I tested this in the airport in the United sizer and indeed found it to be too large. Also, you can see here in my wooden sizer, it's fine width-wise, but it's just a little bit too long to fit unless you really just underpack it, squish it down, and jam it in there. However, when I tried this under the seat in several airplanes, it fit in one, but not the other. You can see in this first picture, there's a large plastic case under the seat, which eats up a lot of space, but it's common in aisle seats. However, in this other seat, without a plastic case, it fit just fine. I think this is a good example of the personal item size dimensions listed on an airline's website and the reality of actually being able to fit a bag underneath the seat. It's hugely variable depending on what type of airplane you're in, as well as your seat selection. Mystery Ranch is what I consider to be a buy-it-for-life company. They use very high quality materials and hardware. On the website, they list the fabric as a plain spun nylon. However, it's extremely similar to this Thule Ion pack, which uses a waxed nylon canvas fabric. This is a very durable fabric, but as you can see, the front of my pack, it has quite a few marks on it from just a few weeks of use. I think this is actually a feature of this type of fabric because over time, as you use the bag more, it's gonna get a nice, well-worn, used look. The zippers on the main and the shoe compartment are these huge locking number 10 YKK zippers, and they use a smaller but still large number 8 on all the rest of the pockets, including the exterior and even the interior pockets. And the hardware is the same thing. They use all high quality Duraflex buckles and adjusters. The exterior of the Mission Rover is dominated by this large front compartment. There's an exterior bottom shoe compartment, as well as a plethora of carry handles. There's 2 ways to carry this bag, these stowable backpack straps here in the back, as well as a detachable shoulder carry strap. And worth noting is the lack of any external water bottle pockets. This front pocket is gigantic, takes up almost the entire volume on the front of the pack and folds almost completely down. It has its own volume, but you can see from the side, it's quite a bit wider down here in the bottom and it kind of tapers down a little bit thinner here on the top. This compartment is large enough for something bulky like a light puffy jacket or rain jacket, but you want to be careful when putting stuff in here like loose, bulky items because the zipper does fold all the way down. It's possible that stuff can just fall right out. There are, however, quite a few zippered pockets in here, so one alternative is to pack these things full as 2 zippered mesh pockets on the top, as well as these 2 front fabric sleeves, and then the volume of whatever you put in here is going to be offset by the capacity on this front compartment and not eat into the main compartment. This is unfortunately, however, also where the laptop sleeve is located. It has some light padding here on the back as well as the front. There's a gigantic false bottom. It's maybe 3 inches off the bottom of the pack. But unless you have a really short laptop, it's gonna be sticking out in the sleeve. For example, my 15-inch Dell, this is as far as it goes down, and you can see now the top of the laptop isn't gonna have any kind of padding or protection. So while I think this is a great place to store a smaller tablet or an e-reader, it really doesn't offer much protection on a larger laptop. There's a very large, wide opening shoe compartment on the bottom of the bag. You can see on the inside, when this thing is packed completely full, it takes up almost half of the volume in the main compartment. There's more than enough room in this pocket for a size of just regular, standard sneakers, not even squished in there, as well as a small water bottle, which is good because you remember I said earlier, there's no other external water bottle option. I also found this works great for my day pack. So instead of putting shoes in here, I'll often just pre-pack my day pack, especially before I get on an airplane. Then I just kind of fold it up, stuff it in there. When I get ready to fly, I just pop it out and I'm ready to go. The carry system on the Mission Rover is simple yet comfortable. The shoulder straps, nice and wide, well padded, thick padding with a soft foam mesh backing. There's a standard adjustable sternum strap as well as detachable top load adjusters. However, there is no hip belt option. The backpack straps are stowable. Detach the bottom buckle, top load adjusters, and then you're just gonna slip these things into this top zippered pocket. You can see those top clips detach up here, and then these bottom buckles have a little pocket. You tuck them down here. And then now you have a nice, sleek briefcase style bag if you want to carry it in shoulder carry mode. This attachment is actually pretty slick. It's a little knob here, and then the opposite end has this little toggle. So you toggle this thing up, slip it in there, and now it's secure and it twists, but it's not gonna pop off. But to open it, you just press down on this little lever and it slides right out. And then to show you the bag in briefcase mode, this isn't how I carry it, but it's a perfectly fine way to carry the bag. I think this bag looks great when it's all packed up like this, but they definitely chose form over function as far as the back padding here, because it's really just the fabric and there's not really any kind of soft foam mesh or air ventilation. There is, however, a nice little luggage pass-through sleeve if you want to use this in addition to rolling luggage. And just as an example, when you compare it to another Mystery Ranch pack, this is the District 24, which is designed to exclusively be a backpack. This thing has a much more comfortable back padding, whereas this one is really kind of a hybrid luggage backpack bag. Moving to the interior organization, this thing has a gigantic zipper running around, coming around to the inside. So this thing is gonna open, lay completely flat like a clamshell, like a suitcase style. On the inside, there's really just one large main section over here for storing the majority of your gear, and then a bunch of smaller zippered mesh pockets. This main side closer to your back is gonna be your bulky clothes and large items. It easily fits a 14 by 10 inch packing cube pretty much perfectly widthwise. And then there is plenty of room on here on the top for other bulky items, day pack, jacket, toiletry kit. Or conversely, if you decide to fully pack out the shoe compartment from the outside of the bag, that's gonna be almost all the volume taken up with this one packing cube. And then when you zip this thing up, all your gear is gonna stay nicely in place. There's a long, skinny mesh zippered pocket over here on the lid. The other side of the interior has this thin mesh zippered pocket on the top and these two other larger pockets which look really thin, but they actually have their own volume. You can see from the side here, these aren't huge, but they pop out a little bit from the main bag, kind of acting like little mini packing cubes. So I stored my main gear in this larger compartment over here. I use this pocket, it's pretty much the perfect size for socks and underwear. Then I use this other pocket over here for just other miscellaneous items that didn't have another home. This is what the Mission Rover looks like on me, fully packed out. And despite the lack of back padding, I found this bag to be decently comfortable when I was carrying it around Ecuador for about 2 weeks. For me, well-fitting shoulder straps that are easy to adjust and fit well are much more important for carry comfort than back padding. So while I do think this bag would be more comfortable if it had some foam or air ventilation back there, I don't think it makes it an uncomfortable pack. In summary, I think the Mission Rover is a solid travel backpack with a ton of organization and a comfortable, stowable carry system. My pros for this bag are the extremely solid, durable construction. This is a very well-made pack, high quality materials with a lifetime warranty. And while I do appreciate the multitude of organizational pockets, they do add a lot of extra weight to this pack, which is one of my biggest cons in this bag. I often say there's trade-offs between weight and features, but I think they could have cut some weight on this bag without really compromising much. For example, having 5 exterior carry handles is probably a little unnecessary, and I think they could have kept a lot of the same organization while maybe cutting out a few of the pockets, especially zippers, which add a ton of weight. My other con is the laptop compartment. It works great for a tablet or an e-reader, but it just doesn't offer the protection of a larger laptop, especially up here in the top corners. Also, having a heavy item that far away from your back isn't great for weight distribution. So that's all I have for the Mystery Ranch Mission Rover 30. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. And again, thanks for watching.